So as you'll no doubt know from the title of this video, we've got a bit of a treat today. We've got some new equipment going onto the truck, some new tyres from Yokohama, and a great new set of rims from our great friends at Loaded as well. So without further ado, let's get into it.
Okay, so here we are, Shah. About 2 years ago, I think, roughly, a bit over, we fitted the Yokohama G017 XATs to the Prado. You've been sort of here, there and everywhere, done some big road trips down to Adelaide, you've done Uluru, you've done a lot of local trips. Even though they've still got plenty of tread, we figured we'd go the new tyre, the new Yokohama G017 XD. Been out just over probably 14, 15 months worldwide. So we figured we'd give them a go so you can compare them. So the difference between the G017 which we're putting on and the G016 which you've got now is not actually that big a difference structurally. They're the same construction, they're the same carcass. There's still a 3-ply sidewall, there's still a 10-ply tread. There's still an RT or an aggressive all-terrain or a 50-50, however you want to phrase it. Just different patterns and slightly different compounds. So what we're hearing is the G016 is slightly quieter, whereas the G017 is slightly noisier, but also depends on the car. Some cars have better sound deadening than other cars. And also some people are more picky about noise than other people. Secondly, we're hearing that these have what they call the 3 mountain peak testing in them, which means they're better, believe it or not, in the snow and ice, which doesn't really help here in Queensland, but we do get the rain. So, and that's slippery. So they're supposed to be slightly better in the rain and in the slippery conditions. So leading into apparently a very wet summer, you should be able to give us some feedback in a few months if you've noticed a difference, and if so, how much. But apart from that, they're very, very similar. Also gonna fit a set of Loaded wheels in the Stockton, machine face, black lip. Loaded wheels have helped us out with a set of wheels. We're a preferred supplier, a fitting agent for them. For no reason, just to make it prettier. They're not going to change the performance of the vehicle, but it's definitely going to look a bit cooler and a bit prettier. So yeah, we'll fit them up, we'll do a wheel alignment, and then I guess you take them and go for a bit of a drive and give us your feedback.
Yep, definitely. All right. Let's get into it.
All right, let's get it done.
So what we're going to be doing today is following in the removal of the old stock wheels from the vehicle that we have on here already. And we're also going to take a look at all of the steps that are required to fit new wheels onto the truck, including the wheel balancing and the wheel alignment as well, which we'll only just touch on later on. So one of the first things the guys need to do now is take a quick look at the rims on the vehicle itself, just to make sure that everything that was labelled on the box is actually correct before they go to the trouble of putting the tyres onto the rims and getting those balanced as well. Alright, so now that the guys have worked out that the rims fit the vehicle and all of the information on the box is actually correct, what they can do is now mount the tyres onto the rims themselves. And what they'll be doing here is, as you'll see, they're putting a bead lubrication mix onto the tyre itself so that it will fit onto the rim. And then, as you see, the valves are fitted to the inside of the rim itself before the tyre is fitted on. And as you'll see here, the bead is what is the very inside ring of the tyre, and that's the part that actually seats itself. And if it's a tubeless tyre such as these, that's what actually creates the seal for the tyre itself to pump up when it sits on the edge of the rim. So that needs to be a really tight seal, and the tyre needs to be not damaged at all. And this lubrication itself also helps to create a lot less damage to the tyre when it's fitting onto the rim itself as well. And then what they do is pressure test the tyres, and as you'll see here, they often make a really loud pop, which is a little bit scary, but it's standard process for pressure testing the tyres and when the tyre itself actually fits. And at this stage here, they pump the tyres up to around about 70 or 80 psi just to make sure that the tyre itself has seated onto the rim and that it's not going to have any problems when it's fitted to the vehicle. Alright, so now that we've got the Geolandar G017s actually fitted to the loaded rims, we're going to take a look at balancing the wheels. Let's check it out. So we're not going to go into a full description and run through of what wheel balancing actually is and how it's done. What I'll do is cover that in a separate video. So now that we've got the wheels balanced, we'll take a look at putting them on the truck. So all that's needed at this stage is to get the new wheels and put them on the hub. One of the things I will note at this stage is that when you are attaching wheel nuts, you need to do them one at the top, one at the bottom, then to the sides, as you'll see the guys doing here, so that the tension is even across the entire wheel. And another thing to note as well is that there is a particular wheel nut lock which comes with these loaded rims as well, which you need to make sure that you use. And once that is complete, we then put the hubs on, and that's just a couple of Allen keys. Even though there are Allen keys that are on the entire outer hub, most of them are fake Allen key heads. The two actual Allen keys are at the front and the end of the loaded word itself, as you'll see here. Alright, so now that we've got the wheels and the hubcaps on, what we'll do is head on over to the wheel alignment machine and do a wheel alignment. Now we're not going to take a full look and go through a complete description of a wheel alignment in this video. What we'll do again is I'll do a separate video for that, because it's a pretty complicated process and there's quite a lot of things that you need to understand so that you know how it actually works and how complicated and complex it actually is, and why all of the machinery that's required is required, and why the cost that is associated with the wheel alignment actually exists as well. So we'll cover that in another video. Alright, so now they're all fitted. I think they look pretty damn good, to be honest. I think it's time for us to take them for a bit of a spin and see how they sound. Well, I have to say, my initial impressions just on this first run, I've only just got the tyres put on the truck, and I'm taking the truck for a bit of a run out towards Ipswich Way on the highway. You may be able to hear out the background tiny little bit of noise from them, but to be honest, it's probably only about as much as I got from the G016s when I first put them on. I could notice them just a little bit, and then they settled in after probably a week, and they were quiet as can be after that. But as I said with the G016s as well, what do you expect from such an aggressive tyre? You can't expect to have an aggressive tyre with really good tread that handles really well in the wet and in dirt and mud. That's also a great road tyre that has zero noise on the road. You won't get that. And the noise that I can hear is really negligible, let's be honest. But I can hear them a little bit. I think probably because I'm listening for it as well, so that could be the other thing. Because I'm listening for the noise, I can hear it. But they're pretty bloody good so far, I must say. I'm liking them. They're very smooth, just like the G016s were. They're very smooth. And I guess the first couple of weeks will tell how they pan out and how they settle in. What do you think? Let me know in the comments down below. Also, don't forget to like, subscribe, and most importantly, share the channel. I really do appreciate that. And we'll see you next time we get four wheels on the road.